Welcome to yet another comparison of HoA to HHA. Today we're going to look at episode 6 versus episode 6 and 7. Episode 6 of HoA starts with Victor entering the attic. Panicked, Nina accidentally activates a secret door which traps her inside a tiny room. Victor doesn't end up finding her. Amber and Fabian wake up Patricia to get the key from her, but Patricia reveals that she threw it out the window in panic. Meanwhile, Nina's locket starts glowing, so she makes it touch another glowing thing that is on the wall. This opens her tiny cell. Nina inspects the whole thing, and we get a glimpse of a painting inside the room, which flashes glowing eyes. Amber and Fabian decide to go tell Victor about everything. As they sneak out, they look at the door to the attic and Nina bursts into the scene, revealing that she opened the door with a hairpin. Somehow. Amber leaves. Fabian and Nina have a weird, supposedly romantic moment. Fabian leaves and Nina inspects her locket again. It's the next day and everyone is impressed with Nina going to the attic. Patricia, annoyed, says that she still didn't pass because she didn't bring anything, but Nina reveals that she brought a book from the attic. They're going to school and Fabian asks Nina if she wants to walk together, and then he starts frantically looking through the bushes, probably in search of the key. Fabian finds the key and suggests they put it back where it belongs, but Nina has other plans. At school, Jerome tells Alfie to make a move on Amber and says he has a plan for it. No one cares about Joy. Patricia breaks into Nina's locker and gets grounded immediately. Meg doesn't want to talk with Amber after the kiss. Somehow Amber is convinced Meg will try to win her back. Fabian proposes to Nina to come with her to the attic. Meanwhile, Patricia removes a tile from a wall in the bathroom, which reveals a peeking hole into the teacher's office, which is totally not weird. The teachers are, coincidentally, talking about the situation with Joy again, and that is all there is to episode 6 of HoA. Fabian and Amber are trying to tell Victor about what happened when Ninka appears. Fabian lies to Victor, but Victor doesn't buy it and tells him to go to bed. This man really doesn't like getting to the bottom of things, does he? They all go to their rooms and Ninka reveals to Amber how she opened the door. With a hairpin. Somehow. The next day, Patricia made a new chore list that has only Ninka in it. Ninka walks in and they all have different reactions to that. On her way to school, Ninka reads the writing on the locket. It says Sarah. Patricia, on purpose, bumps into Ninka and tells her off for it. And in case you didn't know this was Dutch, bikes. Lots of bikes. Ninka tries to take the bike with the eye symbol, like the shape of the locket she has, but Patricia tells her off, saying it's Joyce's bike. Victor then comes in and removes that bike, and Fabian removes her from the situation. And Ninka realizes that she left her keys in the attic. Patricia tries to confront Amber by saying she replaced Joyce with Ninka as her friend. Nick is happy with his grades and hugs Mara, completely ignoring his girlfriend. Ninka goes back to the house to try and get her keys before Victor notices them. In the school bathroom, Patricia decides to ask Mara about Meg, fully knowing that Amber is in one of the stalls and could hear everything. Mara reveals that she really is interested in Meg, but can't and won't do anything because of Amber. Amber cries. Ninka gets to the attic and remembers how Patricia wanted her to bring proof of being there, so she goes even further into the attic. Meanwhile, Patricia, back in the bathroom, overhears teachers talking through the wall. Patricia then reveals that there is a hole behind one of the tiles. They talk about Joyce's disappearance. Ninke, after fiddling with some stuff in the attic, triggers something, making the bookcase reveal an entrance to another room. Ninke finds a painting that depicts the same girl as in the photo in her locket, and that's the end of episode 7 of HHA. In HHA, Victor doesn't actually seem to enter the attic, or at least he doesn't go much further into it than having a quick glance at things. In the HoA, Victor investigates the whole room. On her first visit, Nina finds the secret room and does so by accident. Ninke, on the other hand, finds it on her second time in the attic when she tries to find something to show Patricia. Ninke goes to the attic again because she forgot her keys there. Nina doesn't lose her keys, and her motivation is based on accidentally finding the room with the painting. Nina, when finding the painting in the attic, didn't look at it much nor recognize it. Ninke found it, knew it was a painting, and recognized it as a photo in the locket. As in the HOA, it was Patricia who had the key all this time. Amber and Fabian got to her room, with Alfie and Jerome not being a part of these scenes. In HHA, however, Appy is the one Amber and Fabian go to, as he was the one who had the key and the other people were in the room with them, meaning Patricia and Jerome. Appy returned the key to Victor while Patricia threw the key out of the window. Mick is absent from the initiation in HOA, while in HHA he's present and refuses to try to get Ninke out of the attic. Amber and Fabian end up talking with Victor about the attic incident in HHA before Ninke interrupts them, but they just walk out of the hallway in HOA when Nina arrives. Nina gets to know how the locket works with all the glowing and stuff, but Ninke doesn't, at least yet. The secret room in HHA is not revealed by it. As in the HOA, one of the requirements for passing the initiation was to bring something from the attic. Nina brings an old book, but in HHA, Ninke doesn't bring anything, except some web in her hair, which is why she goes back up. Patricia in HHA made a chore list. No such chore list is even mentioned in HOA. Ninke's locket has Sarah written on it, which is how she discovers the girl's name. This is not the case for Nina. In HOA, no bikes were to be seen. In HHA, bikes are the main mode of transport. This means that we do not see yet another connection Joy has to the mystery, as we do not see in HOA the bike with the eye symbol on it, and Victor taking it away from Nina. In HOA, Fabian finds the key under the bush. In HHA, the key was never lost to begin with, and it is assumed that Ninke got the key while Victor was out. Nina's motivation to go back to the attic was Patricia's theories. Ninke's motivation was to get her keys. It seems like the first time Nina went into the attic was Ninke's 2 first times doing so. As Alfie and Amber already kissed in HOA, Jerome starts making plans to set the two up. These events do not take place, at least yet, in HHA, as the characters haven't kissed yet. Mick gets his grades in episode 7 of HHA. In HOA, he gets his grades in episode 5. In HOA, Mara runs away from him, while in HHA, they have a tight hug. In HOA, the bathroom scene between Amber, Patricia, and Mara never happens. On the other hand, Patricia in HOA breaks into Nina's locker, which never happens in HHA. In the HOA, Fabian is determined to go to the attic with Nina on her second trip. This does not take place in HHA, but could still happen if you assume that Nina's first trip equals Ninke's first 2 trips to the attic. In HHA, Patricia accidentally overheard the teacher's talk. In HOA, Patricia did so on purpose. In the HHA, we got fewer interactions between the teachers. In HOA, it is the male teacher, Mr. Sweet, who is worried about the situation with Patricia and Joyce's rushed disappearance, while in HHA, it is the female teacher, Ellie, who's worried. My opinions are getting shorter and shorter. 10 points to HHA. They make things more impactful, more meaningful, especially when it comes to Ninka's trips to the attic. With Nina, it feels rushed. The acting is not good at all. She tells us what she felt, but we never see it. We don't hear the little flashbacks or anything. She feels like an out-of-place cartoon character. I know I've said something similar before, but the truth is that Nina and Ninka are very different people, despite having similar names and similar storylines. Is it a bad thing? Not necessarily, but it's hard to find Nina likable because of how she acts. How do the teachers not know about the hole going through the girls' bathroom and to Van Sweden/Mr. Sweet's office? It would be very clearly visible from his office, and it's pretty one way because of the whole tile situation. So it's probably not something he made to use for any creepy reasons, but it is something that he is somehow not aware of. If he was aware of it, he probably would get rid of it, or at least not talk about important things like the disappearance of a student and his involvement in it, in a place that could be easily overheard. And we even see him say it, so there's no denying that there is some sort of connection between the disappearance and these teachers. I just don't understand how they don't know about this obvious thing. The hairpin thing is dumb and both serious. I don't think I need to elaborate on that.